And welcome everybody to the Ohio Health Ice House. This is a sled hockey broadcast brought to you by Score on Air Network as part of Ohio Media School. I'm Travis Napper alongside Jay Lucas, and we have a special treat for you today because, as I said, this is a sled hockey broadcast, something we've never really broadcasted on Score on Air Network before, something I'm very much looking forward to broadcasting today. We are jumping a little bit into the action. We had a little bit of trouble getting up and going, but we will get ready and going with the action as quickly as we can. For those of you who have not seen sled hockey before, you're in for a treat. It is just as fun, if not more, than regular sled hockey, able-bodied sled hockey, as we like to call it. And, you know, I've shown you, Jay, a couple of videos of sled hockey. You've seen a little bit of sled hockey since you've been here. What do you think so far?
I like it. It's definitely unique. A unique way to play hockey.
Yeah.
It's given the ones that can't get out there and play traditional hockey a chance to get out there and still play the game.
Absolutely. I actually got to play a little bit of sled hockey back when I was a little bit younger. So it's kind of cool to be out here and to see this and be able to not only that broadcast it and showcase it. Honestly, that's what we're here to do right now, is showcase to you, everybody that's listening, the world of sled hockey, because a lot of people don't know what sled hockey is. I've said the word sled hockey. People look at me like I'm crazy. Today, you're going to witness what sled hockey is all about. So to give you a little idea of how this is going to go, we have a 4-minute period. I think they said this is novice. So we have a novice period. There's two different divisions that are going to be playing in this championship game. I guess I should say this first, though. We have the sled hockey teams, and I shouldn't mention their names. In the yellow, you have the Nashville Preds Sleds. Sled Preds. Thank you. In the white, you have the Carolina Hurricanes. So we have the Hurricanes against the Predators.
How fitting.
Absolutely. Who needs NHL hockey when you have sled hockey as the NHL? But yes, so as I mentioned earlier, this is going to be, I believe, a 4-minute period of, I think this is the novice period, and then after that we'll have an 8-minute period of juniors. So the younger kids are going to play in the first 4 minutes, and then the older kids are going to play in the 8 minutes. And it's a little bit of talent as well. The kids that don't necessarily are still learning hockey are going to play in the first 4 minutes, and then the more experienced kids are going to play in the second half, I believe. I apologize if that's incorrect. We'll kind of go as we learn as we go along. Like I said, we had some technical difficulties getting this up and running, so we are kind of going off the cuff a little bit, but we're going to try to get this going as quickly as possible. And I got to tell you, I came out here yesterday and watched a little bit of these teams play. I didn't get to see too much of the Canes play, but I did get to watch some of the Nashville team play. And, excuse me. I did get to see the Nashville team play a little bit, and I got to tell you, man, whenever they get going, they are quick. And so this game can get very fast-paced. It can get very exciting, and you're going to see a lot of that the more this goes on in the later periods. As you see a shot there early by the Hurricanes. Number 11 got that shot off. I may be wrong. That might have been number 14. And again, we're just going to give you an idea of sled hockey. And again, for those of you who have not seen it, to give you a little idea, so they are sitting on sleds, as aptly named. They do have a blade underneath. I think there's some where they have one blade, some have two blades. It really just depends on the sled that you're using, and it also depends on your skill. If you're a little bit more experienced, you're probably only going to have one blade underneath. That makes it easier for you to use your hips to kind of get the turning. As you would see in traditional hockey, as at the end of the, I think the novice period is ended, so we'll get more into the junior period. But as you can see, in traditional hockey, you have the one stick, right?
Yep.
Not here. Here we have two, and it gets even better. There's ice picks on the ends of those things. Oh, you would think it's a really dangerous sport, but it's really not. I mean, as much as regular hockey is. But whenever I tell people there's ice picks on the ends of those sticks, they get a little bit nervous. But it's pretty safe still, even with those on the ends of the sticks. But as you can see, they're using those sticks to propel themselves to get down the ice. And that's the fun part, because as grueling and as aggressive as regular hockey is, sled hockey's just as aggressive, because you really have to use your upper body strength to propel yourself down the ice. And so it's a very tasking sport to play once you really get into the big leagues of hockey. And already Nashville trying to go on the offensive. And as I pointed out earlier, man, they have that speed they very much use to their advantage. See Nashville hold the puck along the boards. I did get to see a little bit of Carolina's games yesterday, and number 12 here, he can move. He's got a lot of speed. He's one of their better players, it seems like. Beasley at number 12. I'm going to be looking forward to him having a really good game today with the speed that he's got. And he's already displayed already in the first minute of this game. So I've done all the talking. Tell me what you're thinking. Like, what do you're a hockey fan, right?
I am. I'm enjoying this, seeing the skill that it takes, honestly, to be able to steer.
Yeah, that's the fun
and
part.
Handle a puck.
That's definitely in. I've played a couple other Paralympic sports, or adaptive sports, I should call them. But that's the trick, is learning how to multitask, basically. Because you're right, and honestly, even for the goalies, that especially becomes harder because you only have the one stick. So now you've got to use that stick to maneuver yourself in the goal, but at the same time block the puck. And they're not ripping off hard shots like you see in the NHL.
No,
they still rip off good shots.
And just also the speed that,
And again, like I pointed out right there, like the way you're able to propel yourself, and again, like you said, the speed, as we again see number 12 for Carolina just barrel his way down the ice. And the one thing I was kind of noticing this last week or yesterday with sled hockey is you really have to be careful with your fundamentals, because every pass is important in sled hockey, because you have to get it to your teammates, and at the same time you have to be careful because now the ice is more open than it is in normal hockey. It doesn't seem like it usually at first, but the ice is a little bit more open in sled hockey than it is in able-bodied hockey. So you really have to make those passes count, because the ice is so wide open that somebody, if you make a wrong pass, they can barrel down the ice and get a goal. And I think we actually just saw a goal. It looks like that was number 12 for Carolina.
let's say that was Caden Beasley. Just right in the corner. That was a nice shot.
I apologize. I was trying so much to talk sled hockey. I missed the action. So
Like, it looked like it was going wide, but it curved right there at the corner.
that's the other fun part that I've noticed about sled hockey is whenever you're turning and moving your body, you can get such weird shots off. Oh, it's the best. It's the best. So we'll see what happens. So far, it looks like we have a 1-0. All right. And so, looks like we had a stoppage, probably an offsides.
Offside.
All right, Mr. Bob McElligott.
Anytime I can give you, praise you for a good time.
Little score on air joke there.
This is just like, never watched one of these games, but seeing this now is just.
As we see Nashville try to set up an offense, and again, that kind of speaks back to the fundamentals. You really have to make sure you're setting up an offense because you have so much space now on the ice that you can set something up, but especially with the way that you have to maneuver with your sticks, it's hard to get, not always effective passes, but it is harder to get the passes, so you have to make sure that you're getting a good handle on your stick, but also making a good enough pass where you really have to focus on your fundamentals. That's the one thing I love about adaptive sports is it really pushes you to work on your fundamentals. You really have to have good fundamentals to be good in some of these adaptive sports because you don't have that ability with some of the other sports of, using your whole body. You have to use all of your upper body strength. And so you really have to be keen with that. As you see, Nashville take a shot on goal.
I tell you what, they hitting like they in the NHL. Where they coming into them boards.
And again, this is the junior portion of the first period. As I mentioned earlier on, we're going to have two sections of each period. So the first two, I think it's 4 minutes of the period, 12-minute periods total, 13-minute, yeah, it's 12 minutes periods total. You're going to see novice playing. Kids that are, maybe not completely up to skill yet, but are still learning the game. Still got a good skill, though. We saw a lot of good hockey in the first period. But, you're seeing a little bit faster pace with the second. Obviously, there's a little bit more experienced kids. They've been playing for a little bit longer. They're a little bit bigger, a little bit older. So, this is the juniors. And, again, you'll see the novice in the first 4. And then for the last 8, you'll see the juniors. Another shot there by Carolina. And again, you talked about Caden Beasley. I like the way he just sits at that blue line. He knows where the action is. He knows where he wants to be. And he shows how quickly he can use that speed. As the first period comes to a close, we have a 1-0 lead in favor of the Carolina Hurricanes.
I can go so far. There was the last shot that was missed by Carolina. Just a little bit, wide right, and it looked like it was going for a slap shot.
You can still slap shot in sled hockey. It's a little bit harder, but you can do it. I've seen a couple athletes go top shelf. So don't think just because it's sled hockey you can't go top shelf. You absolutely can. If you've got the strength, if you've got the core in your wrist, you can still slap it.
If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score On Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
In sports, you want to have a player that can get the job done right every time. A real all-star, somebody that's dependable and you can turn to when the game is tough. That player in the audio-video industry is the theater people. From setting up your home's Wi-Fi network and offices, conference rooms, to setting up home theater inside or outside, to setting up the systems to make your home run smarter and safer as well. The theater people can do it all with the quality of professionalism you can expect every single time. That isn't just a great all-around player, that is an all-star. That is why we are the leaders in audiovisual installation in Central Ohio. So call us at 614-604-6327 or check out our website at ttpcolumbus.com to figure out which products will fit you. And don't forget, amplify your personality with the theater.
Something a little bit different than we saw in the other games that they played in this tournament. And again, this is the Ohio Sled Hockey Invitational Tournament. I did forget to mention that, so I'll mention it now. But this is the Ohio Sled Hockey Tournament. If you would like to learn anything about Ohio Sled Hockey, they have a couple of different teams that you can learn from, but all of that information is on their website, ohiosledhockey.com. I apologize, it's ohiosledhockey.org. But for any information you would like to learn more about sled hockey in the state of Ohio, go to ohiosledhockey.org and you can find out all sorts of things about sled hockey and how to get involved. If you know anybody that would like to get involved, if you know anybody that would like to at least maybe help out, volunteer, I'm sure they would always welcome the help. We saw 3 teams from Ohio Sled Hockey compete in this tournament this week. They had the NWO Arctic Wolves, had the Columbus Blades, and I believe the Johnstown Sitting Bulls. I just love the names. You and I were joking about this earlier, but I feel like it deserves mentioned. I just love the names. Like, I love the fact that we're watching a Nashville Predators game with the Carolina Hurricanes, and we're not even having to watch NHL hockey. We get to watch sled hockey. I just love about that. I don't know, man.
I feel like I'm watching Bally.
but better quality.
Yes. No, but the team names are actually pretty good. Yeah, you know, the Columbus Blades, the Cincinnati Icebreakers, the NWO.
Yes, the Cincinnati. That was the one I was forgetting, the Cincinnati Icebreakers.
The Cincinnati Icebreakers, the NWO Arctic Wolves, the Pittsburgh Black, and the Pittsburgh Gold.
I'm sure you're not a fan of that one.
No.
As Jackets fan, you're probably a little bit.
Yeah.
They actually played in the 3rd and 4th ranked game, so they played in the game before this one. I actually didn't get to see who won that one.
The Pittsburgh Gold.
Did they really?
They won 3rd place. So.
All I care about is if the Black and Gold win tonight.
I'm hoping that Black and Gold can win tonight, but you know it's the postseason. We got a championship game here.
Yep. And again, as I pointed out earlier, this is the novice portion of this period. So for the first 4 minutes of this period, you're going to see novice players from each team get a chance out on the ice. And I like that about this tournament. I like that about adaptive sports is it gives a chance for even players that maybe aren't completely up to speed just yet get a chance.
Yep.
And especially the championship game, that's so cool.
Like we had a penalty?
I think so. Man, he was really moving.
Yep, it did.
I don't see NHL refs move that fast.
No.
Yeah, it looks like we are going to get a penalty.
Yes, we are on a penalty.
All right, sled hockey power kill. I was wondering if I was going to get to say that.
Looks like the Nashville Sled Preds are going on a sled kill.
A sled kill. I like that. I don't know if that's actually the term for it, but it is today. I like it. I I do like it.
It looked like it could have been slashing. So let's see if the Sled Hurricanes can
Capitalize.
on this.
So that's the other interesting thing about sled hockey. The rules are roughly the same. So honestly, interference I believe is still the same. Some of the other penalties, goalie interference is still the same. You can't interfere with the goalie. Now, if you run into the goalie by happenstance, that's one thing. But if you just absolutely, bowl over the goalie, that's another thing. Couple other differences that you and everybody watching probably can't notice and probably can't tell because honestly, we can't give you that view, but no bench. The benches for these teams are on the ice right now. I believe they are. I don't know if they changed that for the championship game. But they're on the ice, which is something a little bit different. So you can go into the benches in sled hockey, and it's actually not a penalty. Go figure.
Now, could we get that in NHL, please?
No, get your own fun rules. That one's ours. That one's ours.
I've seen a few NHL players go 3/4 into the opposing player's bench.
See, Nashville sends that puck down the ice, tried to clear it out of their zone. And here comes the Carolina Hurricanes, but Nashville sends it back down the ice. Can they get a breakaway? Nashville's trying to get a shorthanded goal. Or no, they are back to 5-on-5. But again, as we pointed out, they can go into the benches, which they kind of are right now. I'll say the other interesting part about sled hockey, you lose the puck as much as you do in regular hockey. Maybe a little bit more. Because sometimes that puck takes a bounce and lands in your lap or lands in your shoe.
Man, if it lands in my lap, I'm still going. And then I will drop it as I get close.
Close to the goalie? Yeah, I don't think that's legal, but hey, it is what it is.
I've seen some pretty fun shots here recently in hockey.
Yep.
From the headbutting goal to,
Right. All right, so this is the junior portion of the second period. We still have a 1-0 goal lead for the Carolina Hurricanes as they try to either extend their lead or just ride out the second period and keep Nashville from scoring. And there's Kate.
Traffic jam.
Caden Beasley trying to get the puck for his team, but moving quick down the ice is the Nashville team, number 6. And who else but Caden Beasley? Let's see what he can make of it. He scores!
Hey, you can see that all the way. Coming from one end to the other, unassisted.
Moves the puck between the sticks and slaps it behind the back.
Hey, you know what? That's the second one of the game.
He is due possibly for a hat trick. Possibly. We'll see.
Can we see he have a sled hat trick?
A sled hockey hat trick. Very well could. And so Nashville Sled Preds are down 2-0 early in the second period of the junior section of this period. You can imagine they're going to have to get something set up. Possibly off the sticks of number 17, Isaac Dufour.
Can we get one more? There he goes. Got a 3-on-1.
Beasley's been a man on a mission, but I believe he's about to get cut off right here. Good job. Good job by Nashville cutting him off at the pass, but he ran into his own teammate.
Tell you what, this is a fun fact that this is an actual rivalry in the NHL.
Yes.
The Predators versus the Hurricanes. So,
and it's quickly become a rivalry in sled hockey as well, at least in the junior division.
No surprise that, they
Little animosity.
yeah, out here.
That puck was sent behind the net of Carolina. Comes back out to middle ice. Heath Fitzgerald trying to move that puck around. Get his guys into position to maybe make an effort to get into Carolina's zone. Sends a nice shot right at the goalie for Carolina. Able to corral that one, and he is going to hold it. So we'll get a face-off in Carolina's zone.
That was a nice shot from the blue line.
It was. I was surprised the way that bounced.
I was expecting it to bounce front.
I thought it was going to go wide right. I really did.
Well, I was thinking it was going to bounce like a little bit further in front.
Yeah.
And then bounce up over. Which that would have been one heck of a goal. But the fact that it went from blue line all the way up to the goalie. We got a goal.
Another one. This one in favor of the Nashville Predators. Sled Preds, excuse me.
It was a nice one from right above the key. Got the puck off the face-off, and
Those are my favorites.
just alley-ooped it.
That's my favorite, when you get a puck off the face-off and the goalie's not expecting it, and you just whiz it right past. All right, so we have I believe it should be a 2-1 game.
Yep.
Second period. Still 4:43 to go in this second period.
I'm telling you, watch for this Beasley kid. When he gets going, he's got a tremendous amount of speed.
And it's interesting, too, because as you can see on this side, he's not in camera shot, but you can see over on the right side of the ice in his own zone, he stays back. So he hangs back defensively. But still somehow manages to get to the other side of the ice before everybody else. That's a real big key in defensemen, especially in the pros or even in college. Like, if you can be a defenseman and move that quickly to the other side of the ice and set up a breakaway, that's something that's very valuable for a hockey team, and especially sled hockey.
Yeah, you just taking a break. Okay, it's relax time.
It is interesting watching some sled hockey. You show people sled hockey, and they see people fall over or running the boards, and they're a little bit freaked out. I can assure you these athletes are very safe. Accidents still do happen, obviously, but these athletes are very safe. There are volunteers and coaches and everything out here to get these athletes right back upright, unless they can do it themselves, which most of them can. So, they're still very safe. It's a fun sport to watch, and that's half of the battle. You get knocked down, you get back up again. That's even in able-bodied hockey as well. You get knocked down, you get knocked to the ice, you get back up again, you keep on fighting. Beasley trying to send that one to mid-ice, trying to pass one off to his teammates.
So, Travis, we'll go see you back out here on the side.
I would do it if they'd let me, but I think I'm a little bit too old at this point for this group. But I will say there is an adult sled hockey team for the state of Columbus, or the state of Ohio, excuse me. Aptly named the Blue Jackets. It is the Blue Jackets sled hockey team. I believe they are associated with Ohio sled hockey, so if you are an adult that has a disability and would like to learn about how to get still involved in sled hockey, you still can. So again, go to ohiosledhockey.org and you can find out. But yeah, they have, I know so many people on that team that are really good at sled hockey, and it's fun to watch them. It's fun to watch these kids do what they do best. But yeah, trust me, if I could leave this little area we got going on right now and be down there, I'd do it. I think I'd be goalie though. I think I'd be better suited as a goalie right now. These kids look mean and tough, and I don't know if I want to get beat up. So I'm gonna stick to getting beat up by pucks. I think I'll stick to that.
Maybe you could be the Goldberg for.
Yep, absolutely. Beasley meeting some heavy resistance. I think they're gonna get offside. Offside is the call. There, I did it right that time. You proud of me now?
Always proud. We're growing up.
All right, we're going to get a face-off. This is the other interesting part about sled hockey is the face-offs, because there's more body. You can move around a little bit more, stop your opponent from getting that puck.
I have noticed, too, that time doesn't stop.
No. It might just be because it's I apologize. I do have to go back and look at the rules, but I think it's just because it's the last couple minutes, and so it doesn't stop. Unless it's like a penalty or an injury, then they stop the clock. But that's also the beauty of amateur hockey, amateur sled hockey too. Sometimes that clock just don't stop. And so at the end of the third period, we have a 2-1 game in favor still of the Carolina Hurricanes against the National Sled Preds.
Sled Kings with the lead.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't go with that, but I like it. Carolina Hurricanes, still a fun name.
I do. I mean, maybe, get some more teams going.
I will say, though, nothing beats the NWO Arctic Wolves.
No.
They're too sweet, man. They're too sweet.
Ain't nothing beating that. I mean, it would have been cool to hear them come out to the NWO, music.
For all you wrestling fans, yes, that joke was for you.
Somebody come out, doing the Hulk Hogan. But like we talked about earlier, the team names are pretty cool.
And again, the biggest thing here is we are showcasing to you the world of sled hockey. It's still just as aggressive as regular hockey. still as fun, can be still as entertaining. And as they just announced, this is the novice period for the third period. So you will see some up-and-comers, maybe some kids that are still figuring out their sleds, figuring out their shots, or just are a little bit on the younger side. So they'll get a chance to show their skills for 4 minutes. And then we move to the big kids after this 4-minute period. But for 4 minutes, it is their time to shine. And 1 period to go. Let's see what they can do. Who do you think has had so far the better novice team so far? I think it's Nashville.
I think they're both in both. You know, it's hard to. It's a toss-up between them.
Right.
Carolina's novice team has won more face-offs.
Yeah.
But other than that, both teams have just, you know, you can tell that they're still learning the game a little bit. Some of the passing hasn't been, has been a little sloppy, but, you contribute that to, them still learning the game.
Right. Absolutely. And just like we've seen out of the juniors, they're not afraid to get a little bit aggressive. They're not afraid to get chippy. We've seen some good shots. I say that about Nashville, but here comes Carolina. Nice lean by the goalie for the Sled Preds.
I thought that was you out there.
Let him get situated, set back up.
Good sportsmanship as
Oh,
well.
absolutely. That's the one thing. It's so crazy, but that's the one thing. And, I don't think this is just an adaptive sports thing, but you see it a lot in adaptive sports. Yes, the competitive spirit is there. The competition is there. But at the end of the day, a lot of these families know each other. A lot of these families practically grew up with each other. There's a lot of camaraderie here. And we got a goal, possibly?
Right under the 5-hole.
Oh. Carolina with the novice team getting it done. I apologize. I ever said anything bad about them. I think that was Xavier Jacob that got that one in.
Right underneath the glove side.
I believe that was Xavier Jacob that got that one in. Little man, number 20. I say little. They all look pretty little from up here, but we'll just say he's a little bit tiny. But he's got a big shot. All right. Face off. Won by, again, as you pointed out, the Carolina Hurricanes. See if this novice team for Nashville can maybe get a little bit of momentum for their junior team. Almost had another shot there. The goalie for Nashville is down. But he stops one. Tries to get a glove on it before the end of the period for the novice team.
Trying to come up the wing real quick. Final seconds of this period.
And that is the last period in the books for each novice team as their third period comes to an end. And now we wait for the final 8 minutes
Now we got the big boys.
of junior sled hockey.
We got the big boys coming up now.
Bringing up the big guns. Although, again, number 20 for Carolina Hurricanes had a big gun shot for the Carolina Hurricanes. But, yes, as you pointed out, this is the bigger kids. Kids with a little bit more experience, possibly. But, again, definitely you could tell some of them they're bigger kids. But, again, as I pointed out earlier, it's so cool. I love that about this tournament. I love this about sled hockey. Giving the opportunity to those little kids and in front of all these parents and all these family members, getting to have a little moment in the spotlight, especially as we record this and give you commentary. They'll get to go back and watch this and critique themselves if they'd like. Good attempt by Nashville to keep that puck back in the zone. Good shot across the crease. Nashville scores! What a grab off the rebound.
You can see that being set up by how they were able to keep it in their zone, in the offensive zone, and just the way they shoot it and sit there for the rebound.
And just like that, with 40 seconds in of this third period for the junior team, Nashville gets back within one. Can they tie it up?
They just didn't clear the trash out in front of the goalie, and someone picked it up and scored.
And you notice, if you really pay attention, the way they handle that puck on their stick, they really have to pay attention to how they're maneuvering their body so that they can get that shot off or get that pass off. Nice shot there again by Nashville. Nashville really applying the pressure now. You can tell they've picked up their intensity. Another shot to DeFore. Or pass, excuse me. But he's going up against the one-man wrecking crew for the Carolina Hurricanes, Beasley. This kid is dangerous when he has the puck on his stick, but he's got to get out of his zone first. Seemingly almost had to do it himself. Another shot sent hard into the net. That was Fitzgerald Ford Preds. Nashville Sled Preds really trying to apply the pressure and get this game back into a tie. Doing a heck of a job. It's for all the marbles. You're definitely right. For them, we do at least. For the camera, I don't know if we're getting levels. Okay. Because we were thinking if we didn't get levels, huh? I know. And it looks like we have a timeout. Maybe taking a little bit of time to get the goalie for Nashville back upright. Nashville again going on the attack, trying to send that puck down the ice. Try to really ride this wave of momentum. 4 minutes left to go in this final third period. Again, Beasley doing everything he can to keep his team's lead alive. He is everywhere on that ice, both offense and defense.
He's been the master of everything so far.
Again, has that puck on his stick. I love the way he just plays with it, too. He just moves that back and forth. He's daring somebody to make a move. Sends a puck at the net. Almost has a shot. Nashville able to clean that up. But a good opportunity for anybody that can get it. Nashville able to stop any momentum Carolina had. Had a couple of moments there where Nashville was in deep trouble, but they able to clean it up, send it back down the ice, and now they can go on the attack against Carolina themselves. Fitzgerald will collect that puck at mid-ice. Zyree Fuller is trying to get it back from him, though. As Fitzgerald and Fuller will go back and forth with each other.
Fuller and Beasley have been, setting everything up tonight.
They're definitely the speed of the team, that's for sure. And you'll notice that too with a lot of adaptive sports is you might have a team where there's two guys that have the speed, have the shooting ability, and everybody else is basically just they're pickers. They're pickers. They're defensively just setting up and trying to create something for their teammates. You see that a lot in adaptive sports, and honestly, they're just as important as the other two because of that, because they're the ones that try to help make it easier on Beasley and on Fuller.
Can't have a hockey game without Queen.
Nope. And the big thing, too, is it also depends on the ability because, this is adaptive sports. All these kids have some form of disability, so their mobility is different from one another. Some of them might be the same, but some are different than the other. And so it's just a matter of finding what skill you have and what you can be useful for on the team, because everybody can be useful on this team. The question is finding the balance. See Nashville having an opportunity. Again, Beasley shutting them down. Every time you think Nashville has a shot, maybe at a breakaway, Beasley's there to just shut it right down. But here comes Nashville again. Can Beasley stop him? He gets the shot off, but it's a wide right shot. 1 minute to go in the final third period. Nashville trying to do everything they can to get this game back to a tie. Beasley's trying to shut down every single opportunity they have. Here comes another shot by Nashville. Takes a good bounce. Fuller able to corral that one. I think they may have lost the puck.
What a turn of events. Just looked like Nashville was out of it for a little bit, and then all of a sudden here in the last minute.
They've really turned on the Jets.
Traditional timeout with the final minutes of the hockey game.
Doesn't matter if it's NHL or it's just regular old sled hockey. You need a timeout, you take a timeout. And so if you're Nashville, what is it you have to do right now?
Win the face-off first off.
Key number one.
And set Fitzgerald up to the right. At the top of the zone. Just let him have it.
I agree. And honestly, if you're...
That one from where he shot just inside of the blue line earlier. Man.
And honestly, if you're Carolina, just stay out of Beasley's way and stay out of Fuller's way. Let them...
Those two together, I tell you what, I'd have them on, whether it's sled hockey, whether it's normal hockey, I'd put those two on the line.
Absolutely.
And let them run the play. You know, put both of them on the line and say, here, you draw your own play.
Right.
It just seems like Beasley, once he gets that head of steam going, you're right, stay out of his way.
All right, the remaining 30 seconds left in this period. What fireworks, huh?
We got the fans now, we're alive.
Yep. All right, 30 seconds to go. What can we see? What fireworks will we get? Shot by Nashville. But not what Nashville wanted. Beasley's able to get that puck on his stick. Nashville got it back, though. Sends it into the middle of the zone. 10 seconds left. If Beasley can clear this puck, and it looks like he's going to, Carolina may just coast themselves to a championship. And they do it. Off the stick of Caden Beasley, Carolina Hurricanes win the championship game at the Ohio Sled Hockey Invitational Tournament and get it done. What a great game. Both these teams played their hearts out, especially in that last period, as you pointed out. I think Caden Beasley has to be one of the 3 stars, right?
Yes.
Who do you want to? Let's do a 3 stars. I feel like we have to. Even sled hockey deserves a 3 stars. So we know who our first star is. Who's our second star? Who's our third star?
Second star, I'm going to have to give it up to Fuller.
All right.
You know, the way that he was able to, steer around on the ice and, set it up for Beasley.
And I am going to give the third star to Mr. number one over there, and that is Ethan Stampf, the goalie for Carolina Hurricanes. Had to face some good shots in that final third period. Had to face a lot of hard shots by Nashville. They were not giving up, and they made it bounce every which way, and he had to definitely stop and make sure that did not go in for a tie game. So I got to give it to the goalie for that third star. But I want your opinion. You've now seen an entire game of sled hockey. Your thoughts?
I like it. Like I said earlier, before we went on air, the fact that it's given, kids that have the disabilities a chance to still play hockey. In all these adaptive sports, they give, kids chances to still play, and even adults a chance to still play.
Yeah.
Hockey is a fast-paced, wonderful game. It all centers around on the whole team. It's not individuals. Some people make it out like that, but it's a team game, and you can see, some of the sportsmanship after the game. That it's competitive, but also at the same time it's teaching that sportsmanship.
Yeah. We're going to take a moment here. I believe they're going to do the championship presentation for the Carolina Hurricanes. So we will let that go, and we will be back after it is over to give our final thoughts on the game and wrap it up here at the Ohio Health Ice House for you.
Like I said earlier, a hockey game is not a hockey game without having Queen.
And right,
Little league hockey, growing up watching, the Mighty Ducks, and you had Queen play.
Well, Carolina Hurricanes are the champions, and they're going to be presented that championship right now.
I got the ultimate collection.
Yeah.
It's as soon as I turn my car on, it comes on. It starts off with Bohemian Rhapsody. I like that about the goalie.
What?
Just let the goalie go ahead and lay out.
Is he laying?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's like, yeah, I'm tired.
I'm tired. It's been a long day. They made me work for it. Not yet. We're just letting them do their thing, though. And as you can see, they're spent a little bit. You can't really see it because parents are taking pictures, and rightfully so. But a couple of them are a little bit laid out a little bit right now, so
They got both goalies laid out.
they're taking their well-deserved break. Again, I want to thank you all for watching this broadcast. My name is Travis Napper alongside Jay Lucas. And before we end this broadcast today, I want to thank a couple other people. I want to thank Adam Dell, the program director for Score on Air, for not only allowing myself to bring these guys out here, bring our students, our camera guy, our Jay Lucas, who's sitting right here beside me, experience to come out here and do this broadcast. But I want to thank him for allowing us to showcase what sled hockey is, what it's all about. We got off to a rocky start with the broadcast, but we picked it up just like they did. We got back up on our feet, and we made the most of it. They got back up on their skates. We got back up on our feet, and we had ourselves a heck of a broadcast, I think. So, again, we want to thank you, and I want to thank all the athletes for allowing us to come out here and calling this game. It was a fun game, especially towards the end. Got to give it up to both teams for what they did at the ending of this game. Nashville, I know they went home not with the championship, but they played their guts out. and they deserve every bit of the praise that they get for it. Carolina played an incredible game. Again, Caden Beasley, one heck of a player, had the speed to get it done not once but twice for his Carolina Hurricanes. So thank you so much for listening to this, so much for watching this broadcast, and I hope you enjoyed sled hockey. For those of you that have never seen it before, I hope you watch it again. I hope we get to do this again, and I hope you all have a great night. Again, this is Travis Snapper alongside Jay Lucas here at the Ohio Health Ice House for Ohio Sled Hockey Invitational Tournament right here on the Score on Air Network from Ohio Media School.